This is the tutorial for Problem Solving Connections, Chapter 2, Part 4. And so what it's asking is, remember we have the three shops in which we are determining what the rental costs are going to be for renting a kayak. And shop C is the one in which we have a constant amount or constant rental charge. And we'll see that as we look at the charge compared to the number of hours. And so question A is asking, is the relationship shown in the table a function? So remember, a function is when we have each domain has one range, or each input has one output. And so remember, the input is the x value, and that's the number of hours, and the output is what we end up having to be charged, or what we're charged, which is the y value, which is the cost of the rental. So we would say yes. Yes, the relationship is a function, and the reason we would say that is because each input has exactly one output. So that's just the definition of a function, looking at an example there. And now we make a graph that shows the cost of renting a kayak at shop C, and then we're going to describe it. So here's our coordinate plane, our first quadrant of our coordinate plane. We're going to start with our x value of 1, and we're going to go up 25 spaces. So we go up, here's 20, so we're going by 5s for the intervals, and so here would be 25. And then over 2 in the x direction, up 25. And then over 3, up 25. Over 4 hours, $25. 5 hours, $25 as well. So you can see that the graph is going horizontally along parallel to the x-axis, but just above it, 25 units above it. And so to describe the graph, I would say the graph is a horizontal line. Therefore, the cost of renting a kayak remains constant. So constant means it's not going to change with respect to the number of hours it is rented for. So as you see, when I'm describing the graph, I first talked about how it's a line. That means that it is straight between points. It does not curve at all, and it's horizontal, so it's parallel to the x-axis. And then I talked about how the y-axis, what that represented, the cost of rental, was compared to the x-axis, or the x-axis was compared to the cost of the rental. And so as you're describing a graph, make sure you give what the y-axis is. Tell me what that represents, the cost of rental, versus what the x-axis represents, the cost of hours. And now let's take a look at part C. It says, what do the graph and table tell you about the cost of renting a kayak at shop C? Well, basically the graph and table tell us no matter no matter how many hours, a kayak is rented for, at shop C, you will only pay, and then how much money? Well, it says right here, $25. So that is part 4. Good luck.